Now let's say we want to get this wire off. There's a few staples in here, but we can get that off of the staple, maybe, maybe not. Just get the staple off that way. And I wanted to show you how I'm going to pull this chicken wire off. I just have my cutters, my electrical cutters. Let me get this staple out of here. I just grab that and pull up on it. I can fold that down like that. I'm just going to take these, and you just start cutting. Pull this up, get it up to the next one, get it up to the next one, get it up, guess where? To the next one. Okay, all the way along here. And that's how I'm going to do this whole thing. That didn't take very long. I don't have that long of a wall. And just little by little, and this line is pretty straight. My 2x6 I know is only going to be 5.5 inches. Just leave that like that. Here's another staple. Oh, that one came off. I have a staple here, and I can just use this. Grab it and lift up. Grab it and lift up. Now see, this has paper on it. It's just gotten saturated on here with the plywood. Okay, it's black. And they put that down first, before the chicken wire, with the theory that if you ever get a leak through the stucco, it's going to hit that paper, and the paper is going all the way down to your bottom of your stucco, where you've got that trim, and the trim's got little holes in it, weep holes, and it comes out on the side of your house, onto a patio, whatever. It's also like a moisture type barrier. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to scrape off all of this stuff, because eventually what I told you I would do is, once I get that, just clean off this edge, and then I'm going to cut this with the Sawzall. I'm just going to angle my blade, and I'm going to cut through just this, and I'll get it almost all the way down to the 2x6 or 2x12, whatever that is. And I'll just have to be careful, you know, because most of this, well, let's just see before I say anything. I said some of this is already waterlogged, and look at that. You may not have to cut anything at all. You shouldn't be able to do this if this was not waterlogged. Okay? I just don't want to start loosening up the stucco any more than I have to. But it's still nailed stucco with the chicken wire underneath that. I just have to be kind of careful, because if I dig it in too far, I can loosen this all up. Doesn't really matter now because this is underneath the house. But once I get done, see, there's a staple right there. Oh no, that's a nail. Ah. That was loose down there even further. But I could, once I put the 2x6 in here, see I got plenty of room now. Doesn't have to be perfect. I got 6 1/8 inches to the top of this 2x12, 2x10, whatever it is. And I only need 5.5 inches. I got plenty underneath there. And what I could do, like I say, I could leave this edge just like this because it's underneath. If I want, I can put some sort of exterior caulking, or I can put construction adhesive right there just to kind of block that from any moisture going down in there. It'll be underneath the deck, but I think I'll probably end up wanting to do something down in there. I'm going to have a little bit, whatever I do, I'm going to have a little bit of the wood showing once I get the 2x6 on there, but that's okay because that's underneath the house. It's going to be no different. It's going to be no different than seeing these 2x6s underneath the house, right? I don't really care about that stucco anymore. Okay, so think of your projects, and for this particular project, most of the time, 99 out of 100 times, well, 95 out of 100 times, you're not going to have any stucco down here because somebody would have built this all inclusive, all in one go, and then you wouldn't have any stucco underneath the house. You don't have that. Crawl underneath your house and see where you got stucco. I crawl underneath this house. There's no stucco anywhere that I can see because they just don't do that. Okay, so in this case, we have it because they added this section of deck on last. They added the stairs on. You follow me? Little by little, you're starting to understand this whole thing. Most decks aren't going to have this, other than ones that somebody said later on, hey, let's extend our patio out for a landing and put some stairs down to the side yard, down to the backyard, whatever. Okay? So I'm going to just keep plugging away. And I'm going to just keep breaking this stuff off just like that. This might be a little bit tougher, this little section, you know, under the ladder and stuff. This next section, because we're away from that corner, we're away from this corner where most of the water damage was. We did get some water damage from here down, and chances are I'll be able to dig this out the same way, but I'm going to be careful. And if I feel like it, I may have to score this even halfway down. Score it halfway down with a Sawzall blade or something. I don't really want to use a skill saw there. If I did, I'd have to use an old blade because I've got different wires, and you have to make sure all your chicken wire edges are out. See, I missed one little spot there from when I was cutting, and if I want to get that out, get it out. And then there's a staple here. There'll be nails holding the chicken wire. Sometimes you get staples, sometimes you get, you know, big staples from a staple gun, or you get hand staples from a hammer tacker. You get all kinds of stuff in here when you start cutting, or actual nails holding up the OSB plywood up against there, and you think, oh, I'll just run the saw in there and we'll be done with it. And now all of a sudden you whack a nail and you just messed up your brand new blade or something, or you got a carbide tip blade with the carbide tips and you break one of your tips off. It breaks off because it hit a nail and you're like, ah! Now your saw blade, you'll still be able to use it for a while, but you're gonna have to get another blade. And sometimes blades aren't cheap. They're, you know, they could be $15 for a new blade or even more. So all those types of things you got to think about. I'd use a Sawzall blade, and I'd probably use a halfway dull one or something, knowing that I'm probably going to hit something. Or if that doesn't work, then I'll get a sharper blade and you know, I'll just peck away at it, okay? But in this case, maybe I won't have to. I'll just keep working and see what happens. I'm just going to show you a little bit more of the stucco that I'm taking off. If I have just this much, if I beat on it straight, it's harder, it takes a while longer for it to come off. And I found if I just kind of use it and cut it, hit it at an angle, I can get a lot of it off quicker than just smashing it straight on. And then from the line, I can go up. Once I get to there, I gotta go sideways over this way. And go up there. If I want, I can clean it with the last little bit with my claw of the hammer. See that? That's a nice straight line. Boom.